Hello everyone, welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree and an episode of Scrappy Time with Caroline. Today we are going to use up scraps. Most of this is scrapbook paper, and somebody gave me a whole bunch and it was cut into 1-inch strips. So we're going to use a bunch of that, but plus some that I cut up, just so I had a little more variety of colors. Now these are all green themed ones, and I have a few here that are not quite 1 inch wide, so we're going to use some of those too. So I've got them in a different pile than the 1 inch. So I did do some what I was calling paper quilting tags. And we're going to do the same type of thing, but we're going to use strips. Now with the strips, the odd sizes I'm going to use at the top and bottom. And we are going to do different ones like this, but I'm going to stagger them and not have them even. Just by ripping the lengths down. And the reason I want them the same width is so then that way they go together like so. As I say, the other tags that I made were similar, but these are a bit different. This is a little bit better way of using up those scraps, because every row could be a different size. And I do put some full rows. Now I lay it out like this so then I kind of have an idea of what's going on with the tag. And again, I'm trying not to line up my seams that are going this other way. Now you see that piece there is a little bit narrower, so it's not going to work out quite as good as some of the other pieces. So let's just get a different piece. And now this is where I'm going to use a little bit longer piece to cover up that whole top, because 1 inch, oh, the one inch will fill up. Well, that one, let's actually use this one here, because I think it would just fit there. So now I'm going to ink up the pieces that I'm going to use. And I don't need to ink up the ends because they're all going to get cut off. So I'm just going to ink up anything that's not going to be on an outside edge. These go by quite quickly once you get going on them. You do not have to stitch. And you could for sure use your sewing machine to stitch these. I just love doing the hand stitching. And this way I can use different colors of thread if I want. I can do different stitching if I want. Okay, so everything is inked. Set that up there. Now we can start gluing this down. So I always just kind of set my piece where it's going to go, and then I have an idea of where not to glue. If it goes over, well, then I get glue all over the place. So this first one, I'm going to try and get it fairly close to the edge. Just going to grab a tissue here. Then I can wipe up any glue. And then this is going to go here. I'll link the other video I did that was similar, a little bit different, but similar to this below, in which I use some die cuts. Now this piece here I will put the glue directly on the paper. And after I stitch on these, I will then back it. Now this one, I want to make sure that I go and put my seam over on this side. Really the only difference between this and normal collage is just that I'm using papers that are cut at the same size, same width. I have so much scraps of scrapbook paper, even though I very rarely use scrapbook paper. But somebody gave me a bunch, so I figured it's time to use some of it up. Usually when I'm doing one tag, I'll put at least one of a whole piece that goes all the way across. You could tape this down if you wanted. I very rarely use double-sided tape for things like this. Okay, we are going along good here. I also want to try one of these going at an angle instead of straight across, so we'll do one of those when we're done this one, just to see how that goes. Okay, getting close to the end here. If I was going to mass produce these, I would do every step in stages. So I would do, you know, separate all my papers like I did here. And then I would do this stage, and then I would trim them all and whatnot. It just goes so much faster when you kind of do, I guess, this assembly line style of crafting, especially if you want to make quite a few of them. So there is that stage done. So let's trim this up. Again, normally I would wait until it was dry. Sure hope I was in frame when I was gluing all this down. I get so busy crafting, I forget to look at the camera to see what's going on. Okay, and there is that. Now you could quite easily leave this as a journal card. You can use it any way. So I'm not going to cut the tag shape right now with this. Just in case I decide to make a journaling card out of it. So there's that. So let's get another piece. And I want to do one at an angle. So of course my first piece I want to make sure that goes and covers up the ends. So actually this here piece might be a good one. Okay, so let's have that one there. And then we can put this piece here. That piece there is a different size. So all that I do when they're different width too is I'll put them together like so, and then you can see what I need to trim off. So I'll trim that off. And now they're the same size, so they can go side by side like so. And now we can use like a longer piece here for there. Now this one here is cut crooked. So let's straighten that out. Now I'll go there. Again, it looks like that might be a little bit different size, so we will trim that down again. It is hard to get them the same width when you're using a paper cutter or something like that. Okay, let's see what other colors we got in here. And again, we don't want to have the seams in the same spot. Okay, so we're just going to basically fill this up with our pieces, and I just kind of get a rough idea of laying these out this way. Nice because most of these pieces don't have to worry about them being the right way up. That. Now let's see, we might have a piece wide enough, like this one right there would be wide enough to do that top part. So now we can ink this up and lay them off to the side, same as we did the last time. And then I just know which way they go on. And you could very easily just pick up a piece and glue it down and not lay it out like this. I prefer laying it out so I can see what I'm doing. It would go a lot quicker if you didn't lay them out like this. But I never worry about how long it takes me to make something. I just make it, and if it takes me a minute or an hour, it doesn't really matter. For me, it's all about the process of making it, not how long it takes. Okay, there is that. And this is more about showing you the process of making these. So now I can start gluing these down. So let's put glue across the top here, and then on my card here, along the edges. Just to hopefully not get glue everywhere. And you could definitely do these at any angle you wanted, whether it was a really angled or just a little bit. Let's put this one on first. See, when I do that, you can see little tiny white spot right there, but that'll be okay. Okay, let's do here. Okay. Going straight across is definitely quicker, that's for sure. But this will be good. It'll definitely give it a whole different look, that's for sure. Okay. Now you see my pieces are all mixed up. So we're going to have to, that one's going to go with there. Okay. Let's put, no, that one wasn't there. Let's do this here. Oh, I know what it was. We had this big long piece here. Okay. Getting myself all confused. Okay. Seeing that one there is cut crooked, but that's okay. That white will get covered up by stitching. Or the stitching will distract from the white spot. I think what I'll do is I'll find some quilting patterns that deal more with just strips as the pattern, and see if I can't do a couple of known quilting patterns, but do it on paper on a card. Okay, moving right along. Just going to put a bit of glue on the end here. As I say, I don't want none of these till this way's okay. I don't mind having one way lined up, but I don't want here and here, but you can. No reason why you can't do it that way. Just that this is what was in my mind when I started doing this. Okay, moving right along. So you can really see that white spot there. But that's okay, because I could put a little bit of ink there and then wouldn't notice it quite so much. Lots of things we could do to... I could even color it green with a felt or something. then it wouldn't stand out quite so much. I don't want to get the white glue on the rest of my project. See, now that I've got to the top here, this gap is a lot smaller than what I originally had thought. So I think I'm just going to use this piece there. Just ink that one side. And we'll just glue this last corner up. Okay. And there is our base. So now let's trim this up. You could use your paper trimmer to trim this too. I just find it easier to just grab my scissors that are right beside me. Okay. And again, I don't think I'm going to cut this into a tag shape. I'm going to leave it just rectangular for now. And we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so there is that. So then we have the two that we did, diagonal and just crosswise. So here is a couple that I did before that I've stitched up. Now here's a blue one. And hand stitched, and hopefully you can pick out the different colors of blue threads that I used and the different stitches. I've got a little zigzag, big zigzag, cross stitches, etc. So I just thought the different stitches just gave it a whole different look. And then here's the purple one, and the same again. I used a few different colors of purple and different stitches just to give it that more quilted look. I really like how these turned out. So I hope you'll give it a try and use up those scraps. I know I've done quite a few just to this point here of different ones. Let me just show you some of them. And just using all the scraps, they go by quite quickly. Different sizes, different colors. Here's some blue ones. I love the teal ones. Some purples. Other green ones. More purples. Some pinks. I'll just sit here in the evening and I'll just glue them down. And then from this stage, then I'll decide what I'm going to do with them. Like this one, I've got two big pieces. Quite a big piece there and a big piece there. And that's okay. So have fun with these, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.